Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Just another beautiful day in central New York. Oh, goodness. Come on, Facebook. Just waiting on Facebook. There we go. All right. Yeah, so I hope you guys are having a great start to your day. As always, again, just another beautiful day. Got a nice little rainstorm last night. You know, that tells us that we are, we're getting all of the nutrients from the soil into our crops, into that good stuff. So, good morning, Deborah. Today is something I don't believe I've ever directly spoken about, and it's opportunity. This is something that a lot of times, like, we'll have like an idea and we're like, oh, and then it just kind of passes. And I always say that, like, I live by like the order of, I call it the order of threes. I don't know if that's a real technical thing or not, but basically, like, when three totally different people in totally different times, if someone says like, oh, well, like with this whole thing. So I had a client probably like 2 weeks before quarantine say, you should do a podcast, and because you're really good at telling stories and talking about specific things. And I was like, that would be really cool. Just kind of, okay, whatever. And then someone else and I were talking about his podcast. Happy Hump Day to you too. I'm not going to say no, Matt. I am not going to say no, but I'm not going to say yes. Matt is having a social distance ride at Trek of New Hartford, second best Trek store, followed by Syracuse Bicycle, or Syracuse Bicycle, then Trek of New Hartford. That's how that was supposed to come out. So tonight, but so the first person said, you should do a podcast. You tell great stories. Okay, whatever. And then I'm sitting down with a friend of mine, and we're talking about how he had some issues with his podcast and just wasn't really sure the direction he wanted to go. And I was like, you like health and wellness. I know a bunch of people in the health and wellness space. I could totally help you. And then I was like, huh. So that was two. That was the second one. And again, these are like a week or two apart. And then the third one was COVID. And Beth and I were sitting there, and I was on a run, and I had heard something in the very beginning of COVID-19 shutdown, which was, this next, whether it's 2 weeks, 6 weeks, or 8 weeks, which I don't even know how many weeks we're at now, is if you don't come away with a new skill or take this time where you have downtime and really develop something that you've thought about, then you've wasted a huge opportunity. And I was like, man. So I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, well, what is something that has that I've thought about? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on, and every day it'll help my clients, it'll help my friends. Every day I'll be able to go on, and I'll be able to just give them possibly something to look forward to at 8 a.m. East Coast time. Sorry, Deb. Meaning, like, we'll talk about, just stuff. And I was like, you know what? That kind of falls back towards what those other two clients and I were talking about. So that's what I call like the order of threes. So when we talk about opportunity, a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something, right? That's what opportunity is defined as. So where do they come from? How do you make opportunity, or does opportunity kind of just come by and there is the saying, opportunity slap you in the face, you wouldn't even know it. Sometimes, like, you have to be actively looking for that opportunity. You have to be looking for opportunities. You have to look for it. If you're not looking for it, if you just have your head down, one example that I was reading is, next time you go to Starbucks, don't get your phone out. Like, just kind of stand there and kind of like read the situation, because you're there for what, 5 minutes at most. But what it is it's something that all of a sudden you see that same guy in there, and one day you see him in a great mood, the next day you see him in a shitty mood, and the next day you see him in a great mood, and then you start to like kind of like, when you see him in a bad mood, you just, here, let me get the door for you, or hey, how's it going today? And then all of a sudden you see him in a good mood, same thing, and he might just be like, geez, this person's just, why are they so nice to me? You might come to find out that's your soon-to-be future next boss or business partner, or just some guy that you meet at or girl that you meet at Starbucks. Though that's how, but again, like, you have to be open to that stuff. And I'm not saying like, every single person you see on the street, I mean, you should say hi, because that's just, the nice thing to do. But you always want to be looking for that opportunity. Okay, so don't just put the blinders on, put your head down, and just do the work. Do the work, but also, consistently adding to your list of contacts, to people that you know, because again, you never know when, if Matt just texts me and is like, hey, Jamie at the shop just retired and they're looking for someone to take over the shop. Well, it's a good thing I know Matt, and maybe I want to get into a bike shop business, which is not at all what's going on. But again, like, having those contacts allows you to be able to talk about, to know what's going on. Because, you never know, maybe you're looking for a second hobby or job or career. So always, keep your eyes open. And again, that doesn't mean that you're not vested in where you currently are. It could be something totally different. It might be that you're looking for a new financial planner, and this guy that you see at Starbucks, finally, one day he's just like, I really appreciate it. My name is Joe Schmo, and I'm a financial planner, and, today's a horrible day on the stock market, and, you being polite to me, it gives me a better outlook. And then you're like, geez, I'm in the market for a financial person, whatever, opportunity. Look for it, read and research. Again, the more diverse your background is, the more you educate yourself, the more you're opening opportunities, the more you're able to talk about stuff. If I only ever focused only on one little thing, then I might know a lot about one little thing, but I don't know anything about anything else. So, again, open yourself up, reading, doing research, and then lastly, have the right mindset. So this is something that, I guess it's Sir Richard Branson, talks about. He says, if you put yourself in the right mindset to spot opportunities, there is always more to follow. In other words, like, you have to be looking for it. You have to be open to it. If you're not open to it, it's never going to happen. Opportunity is he also says opportunity is disguised as hard work. So most people don't recognize it. So, you have to see it, but then you have to be ready to put in the work to make it happen. Again, it's not necessarily giving you, the opportunity isn't going to give you the easy way out. It might be easier because, you're very well educated, because you've done your reading and research, but it's not necessarily the easy way out. So I want you guys to take a little bit of time and just, always kind of like take that step back and kind of look at it like the bigger picture. Like, what opportunities are out there for you? Or how can I make some new opportunities? Am I making new opportunity, on a daily basis, a weekly basis? For example, Matt, posted about this group ride out of Trek of New Hartford. And I want to say there's 30 people there last week. And if there's another 30 people there this week, that could be an opportunity because he has a big influence on social media that all of a sudden that grows, and that's organic growth. And that's more people that, when he's in the trenches of training, that can help bring him up and help him, maybe through that he finds someone that is like, hey, I'm a retired carpenter. I see you've been working on this kitchen for the last 20 years. I'd love to come over and give you a hand. New opportunity. It doesn't have to be super crazy. It can be simple things like that, but definitely keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, pay attention to the surroundings, and look for opportunities to better yourself, whether it's food, whether it's family, whether it's finances, whatever it might be. Is, if you see a post of, so-and-so is gonna buy a half a cow, maybe that's a good opportunity for you to jump in on that. Do a little research. Okay, what's it going to cost per pound? Like, how much meat do we eat on a yearly basis? Again, you got to do a little bit of the back end, but if it saves you, like our cow is about $3.50 a pound that we bought for every single cut of it. Well, that's good, even if it's just hamburger. And I know the farmer, I know what he was feeding it, and it tastes damn good. So it was worth every penny. But you have to be paying attention to looking for and listening for different opportunities on all areas of life. And again, this is about creating that conscious self. So I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. I know you will. To all my friends that own a gym and that go to gyms, I'm sorry that Phase 4 is not including gyms. I'm not really sure. I think that there's so much confusion around the whole thing. Some gyms are open, some gyms aren't, but to those guys, I feel for you. I hope that things really start to change soon, because I know that a lot of my friends that own gyms are absolutely crushed right now. And another 3 weeks is definitely not going to help them if that's what it is. So, but everybody else, continue to practice their social distancing. Be smart. If you don't feel good, don't go somewhere. I mean, common sense kind of trumps all. I know a lot of people don't seem to have common sense these days, but, do a little bit of research, find some on the internet somewhere. I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you